So the topic that I have selected today is why do you suffer? I know a lot of you already know it, and all of you may have your reasons, but I'm going to zone it down to one single cause. And that is the supremost cause. I've discussed that, but I still see that pretty often. And the single most cause is guilt. If you go layers by layers beyond your suffering, somewhere you zone it to some guilt. Now, the immediate response would be, why should I feel guilty? I haven't done anything wrong. I've always been Miss Right or Mr. Right. I'm always, okay, I don't do anything illegal. I don't do anything immoral. I don't understand. Why should I? I mean, I have no guilt. That would be the first response. What we don't realize is criminals don't feel guilty. They could be highly justified regarding whatever they do. It's people like us. We feel guilty for smallest thing. I forgot to give tiffin to my husband. And guilt throughout, oh my God, he'll have to eat outside. And that doesn't suit him so much. And he might have digestive disorders. And I'm the only one responsible. How could I forget? Or it could be, I couldn't wake up my child in the morning and he had to rush so much. And that's why he was anxious and didn't do well in exams. So I'm the one who's guilty. And the story can continue forever. There could be so many trivial things for which you feel guilty for no reason. And it's become kind of a way of life. Apart from that, we also borrow guilt from so-called past life pre-programming. We also borrow guilt from our ancestors. And sometimes unknowingly, we do suffer from borrowed guilt. And the story continues. Are you suffering because of the guilt? And I would say you have a need for suffering. And that's why you have a need to go through a guilt. That sounds crazy, isn't it? Because when you feel guilty, you have a subconscious need to punish yourself through add-on suffering. And because you have a need for subconscious suffering or conscious suffering, physical suffering, financial suffering, social suffering, reputation loss, or any kind of loss that makes you suffer, you often choose to feel guilty over trivials or even borrow guilt or inherit guilt or activate some of those past life deprogrammed guilts. It's not the guilt that makes you suffer, it's your choice of suffering that make you feel guilty. But why would you choose to suffer, isn't it? Why would anybody even think that they should suffer? Consciously, of course not. Nobody wants to consciously suffer. However, at subconscious level, we do manifest a lot of suffering. And the commonest cause for suffering is association of suffering with spiritual growth. We have several such beliefs. For example, belief that if you suffer, you grow spiritually. If you suffer, you're closer to God. If you suffer, you get more attention. If you're suffering, you can get away with a lot of nonsense. If you're suffering, you can get sympathy from a lot of people. And all those beliefs are at times borrowed, inherited, or acquired from the cultural patterns, religion, or from your parents, anywhere. Or you have observed that in the childhood, when you were a child, and you saw that how suffering actually benefited you. You don't mind suffering to get those benefits. However, what if you can still avail those benefits without suffering? Open up to the possibility of life without suffering. because suffering is the choice made at the conscious level, subconscious level, or superconscious level. Choose not to suffer. Choose to remain neutral. Choose to enjoy a comfortable life and choose to enjoy comfortable growth. They say pain may be inevitable, suffering is a choice. Are you ready to make that choice today? Thank you.